Okay, now, have you ever got actually bored of reading your kids' bedtime stories? Well, you don't have to keep up because I read the story. Now, for the girls, this is Tillys Moonlight Fox by Julia Green. And I'm going to read up to Chapter 2. Chapter 1. Something was different. The fox sensed it. Curled up in its daytime hiding place in a nest of brambles. The fox lifted its head. It pricked up both ears to listen. It heard a car and voices. Next, a big removal lorry drew up on the road outside the house. Someone banged on the door at the back as they opened it. For hours, the removal men went to and fro, carrying boxes into the house. Tables and chairs came next. Beds and bookcases, lamps and cushions and rugs. A whole houseload of things was carried out of the lorry, up the front of the path, through the open door, into the house. All day the fox tried to sleep, curled around, with the tip of its tail wrapped round its body. Its ears twitched, listening out for danger. As evening came, the shadows lengthened across the grass. The lorry drove away. The front door banged shut. At last it was quiet. Just the normal sounds of an autumn evening. A blackbird sang on top of a tree. A squirrel ran along the edge of the rickety wooden fence. The fox uncurled itself. It yawned and stretched silently on velvet paws. It slipped through the bars of the gate into the garden. No one saw its slim, red-brown body and its long tail as it stopped at the edge of the lawn to sniff the night air. Looked up at the house. The fox called out into the dark. It was a strange sound, an eerie, high-pitched scream that echoed round the night garden and made everything afraid. Okay, I'm not going to read up. Okay, I'm going to read up into the second page of chapter 2 because that's the chapter. Tilly's spine. Hang on, no, sorry, I can skip one. I'll skip page. Yep. Okay. Tilly's spine tingled. She uncurled her legs from under the rug, slid off the sofa and went to the window to look out. What made that horrible noise? What had made that horrible noise? She repeated. But it was dark outside. All she could see was her own reflection in the grass, staring back at her. Tilly? Dad called from upstairs. Time to get ready for bed. I'll come and say good night later. Tilly opened the sitting room door. The hall was dark. a tiny bit of yellow light shone in from the street light outside. The pane of glass above the front door, just enough to fill the hall with shadowy creatures. The stairs seemed to lead up into a yawning black nothing. Tilly waited in case that scary screaming sound came again. It was so quiet in the house. She could hear the tick, tick, tick of the clock on the kitchen wall. She took a deep breath. She made herself step into the shadowy dark. She dashed to the bottom of the stairs, reached up to the light switch and flicked it on. There. Now she could see it was just the hallway, with coats hanging on pegs, cold tiles on the floor, and a staircase with a strip of green carpet going up the middle, held tight by gold material rods on each step. Everything in this house was old-fashioned, you see, and strange, and felt smelly. The ceilings were high up, and there were plaster flowers in the middle where the lights hung from. It was much bigger than their old house. It was almost big enough, Tilly thought, to get lost in. The furniture was big and dark too. Wardrobes and cupboards and tables and chairs and pictures in heavy gold frames that had belonged to the old lady who had lived in this house before she had died. The walls had old-fashioned wallpaper with patterns of flowers and birds. They would change all that, Dad says. Paint the whole house, top to bottom, freshen it up. Okay, so part 2 will be coming out in a bit, but I need to go and revise, so I got exams tomorrow. Okay, goodbye.